On today's episode, we get cinematic with lenses. What is up, everybody? James Jackson here, back again with another video. If you're new to my channel, I do tips and tricks for the film and video making industry. So if you like the content here, please make sure to subscribe to that channel and hit that bell so you can stay up to date on all the content going forward. So I got a very special treat for you guys today. We are looking at the entire lens lineup of cinema lenses from Xeen. Well, you don't see the full lineup here because we're actually filming on one of the lenses right now. The one we have attached to the C200 is the 24mm T1.5. I just got done using these lenses in a video shoot recently, and I've done some test subjects. You've probably seen the video I posted on Friday, and my overall thought is these are some amazing glasses. And if you understand the price of what cinema lenses typically are, you would understand that these guys are actually relatively affordable glass. And the reason why I was shooting with the 24, because I want to show you guys the difference between what it looks like with a cinema lens compared to what I typically use for my vlogs, which is this guy, the Sigma 18-35mm 1.8. For those of you that may not be familiar with cinema lenses, I'm gonna just go briefly over them real quick. One, they're all manual. There's no like autofocus or anything with them. Some Cinema primes do have electronics in them to have smart mounts, which basically means that they can talk to the camera and they can put the metadata of what is on the lens to the camera, so you can know what lenses you shot on. Unfortunately, with the Xeens, that is not. There is no smart information sent to them, so it's just you got to manually run through everything about them, which is a bit of a bummer. But what I love about cinema lenses is, first, you got T-stops. The difference between T-stops and F-stops is basically these are pretty much accurate. With f-stops, they're more of estimated calculations. These are accurate. Like, so if something is T1.5, it doesn't matter what of any of these other lenses, as long as you're in the same stop, they will all show the same look. Whereas other cameras, if you go from one to the other, they're sort of maybe off or not. So it gives consistency across the board, which is a great thing to have. The main thing is the focal throw. As you can see here, this throw distance is crazy long. Now you may wonder, why would you want something like this? If you've been mainly a photographer, so that you maybe ask yourself that. But in all honesty, that's what makes these things in terms of film, because with still glasses like this, it's only like a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're at infinity, so you can easily miss the shot, and if you're not careful. With this, it gives you enough breathing room to where you can nail the focus and sort of get at an accurate focus if you want. So if your subject just moves a little, you can just slightly move it to get it right back in frame, which is another great thing. So those are basically the main things about cinema glasses. What I love about this is, let me see if we have his on the mic. This is all metal. These things feel tough, that they could take a beating, but at the same time, they are also pretty light. They don't they're definitely heavier than the Sigma. It's definitely heavier, but it still feels relatively light when you still put them side to side to most cinema lenses. So as I was saying, I was using these on a music video shoot. I had the budget to actually rent these out. I'm actually going to have to send them back to lens rentals. But I love these lenses, especially this guy, the 50mm. The 50mm, I don't know what it is about this lens, but the 50 gives such a nice, some sort of nice texture. I wanted to shoot on this constantly during the shoot, and this lens right here was probably my second favorite, which is the 135. And this lens right here gave me a really made me really appreciate telephoto. The higher the millimeter, the more compressed the background is, and it makes the background larger than what it actually seems, which is great if you're actually working where the subject of the scene you're trying to film is in a confined space, because if you can get your subjects to stand away from the background as well as give yourself enough distance, it allows you to make moves to still move around, and as well as basically keep it without falling. Because one of the things that we had to do, we had to shoot on a backdrop, but the backdrop is not really wide. So having something like this compared to something like this, which is the 14 millimeter, great lens, but this would have just put so much stuff in the shot that I didn't want. Whereas this, as I just had to step back quite a bit, but still step back, and I got what I wanted in the shot, as well as the subjects that I wanted in my shot. That is such a great thing to have, and I really love telephotos. I've always liked telephotos, especially like the 85 millimeter. That's sort of like my signature range. But this baby right here was just like cream, like butter. I will say is, if you're looking for sharpness all the way stopped with the lens wide open, these tend to be a little bit softer wide open, but that's fine with me. I like things a little bit soft. I will tell you right now, I would definitely love to have one of these. Unfortunately, I don't have the means to have it right now, but these are at least one of these guys is going to be on my list to sort of snag. Probably the 135, because I did like using this a lot. Sort of just like my secret weapon. But compared to this is a great lens to have if you just need one good all-around lens. I've said this before, the 18 to 35 is a very basic lens for me. It's a very common lens. Everybody uses it, so there's not much aesthetic differences in terms of shots. Whereas something like these guys give me such a unique characteristic and give me such different variety to play with. So I love that about these guys. But for as of right now, they do have to go be sent back. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit more about cinema lenses. These are definitely something you should definitely check out. Check out lensrentals.com. I gotta give a shout out to them. They're the ones that hooked me up with all these lenses. They didn't give it to me for free. I just basically rented them out. But they have a whole bunch of different varieties of equipment, and they deliver on time, and they definitely work with you and work with your project. So definitely check out lensrentals.com to learn more if you're interested in these lenses. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to leave a comment below, and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, take care, everyone.